Hi guys, welcome back again to Jiujitsu Uncle, and in this video I would like to show some techniques as a friend of mine, Neil, is trying to sort out some details on how to execute the technical stand-up sweep coming from De La Hiva. He saw a video recently about this move and was wondering if there are any efficiencies that he can consider. And this is a move that I personally love using since I was in early blue belt, probably around 5, 6 years ago. And it works really well in gi or no gi. And for somebody like me who has very short limbs, playing De La Hiva is usually not a very efficient guard for me. But this sweep, after I incorporated it, has become quite a reliable tool for me to initiate attacks, whether it's a sweep or just to set up other stuff. And this is the reason why I want to share some of the details with Neil. And I hope you guys would like it. From a context point of view, there's a lot of things here that is very adjusted or adapted for somebody as tall and as big as Neil. Neil has probably a full head length taller than me and at least like 15 plus kg heavier than me as well. So we're trying to put some of those factors into play as we try to make this move if work for him. So a lot of these videos are not me showing a move because none of these moves are any, they're not special or anything. They're just, they've been around forever, and what is fun about doing this is just helping myself or other people figure out how to make certain moves work for them specifically, and hopefully it will be easy to remember adjustment and they can use it for their games as soon as they can. All right, so again, let's get started with the actual video. So the video is gonna start off with Neil telling me about how he saw this move recently online and he thought about using it and he's been trying to execute it. It seems to work if he's doing it solo, but is struggling a little bit in terms of hitting it live. So as you can see, he goes to De La Hiva, he waits for the person to take a backstep and he executes that move. But you saw that a lot of the move is actually based on his weight pushing the person forward, so I'm trying to fix that. So the basic mechanics I was telling Neil is this move is just a technical stand-up and nothing more. It's a technical stand-up that we do during warm-up. So you extend the person's leg to make their base a little wider so that there's a plane at the back that is empty. And then from there, you pretty much secure the front leg and make sure you trap the bottom end of the lever of the foot, and then you pull it out of them. So it allows them to fall. So essentially, they don't have a base. So technical stand-up, we take it for granted, but there's a lot of like alignment issues that you have to make sure that it's correct. So we adjust things to make sure that the posted hand and posted foot is in a straight line that allows you to align the rest of your body. And I was telling Neil that this sweep is not moving forward, it's moving backwards. So that's one of the biggest things that was causing him issues to hit this, because he was driving the force forward rather than pulling the leg backwards. So there you go. But this is not super ideal yet. It is correct from a body movement. So what I usually like to do is just to address the most important part first, which is pulling the leg out. We'll add the details later. You saw that if he executes this move this way, the person ends up really far from them, right? Because he's pulling his foot straight back. That means I'm going to fall forward while he moves backward, and now you have to deal with an open guard from a distance. So what I was telling him is to pull his leg towards his other leg, his posted leg, to induce like a spiral. So you actually drag the person close to you and you land in a much, much closer distance. As you can see, as I pull my leg, my left foot goes almost over my right foot. That allows the person to spiral in. It allows me to pretty much like land in between his legs rather than outside his legs. So you can also add more torque by using your upper body to the inner knee. Again, we're just showing the concept here, not the details. So I was telling Neil that with his body size, he can generate a lot of like outside knee torque pressure to be able to take the person down very, very efficiently with very little force needed to be added and little explosiveness. Again, with short legs, my De La Riva hooks are not super effective. They're not going to wrap around somebody's um, um, calf or inner thigh that easily. So I rely a lot more on timing. Right after I make the sweep, I usually go to my over under or tripod, and then I go from there. So what I'm trying to show here now is that if you as you enter this scenario, as you enter De La Riva, a lot of times people will backstep, and if you develop the sensitivity that as soon as they take the backstep, you initiate the sweep right away and add to the force, you can take that sweep pretty easily. So work on the timing and the awareness of expected reaction of people to moving back. Another common reaction is as soon as somebody gets into De La Riva and they move up, you pummel the leg out so that you don't get swept. And that happens a lot if you don't pinch on the Achilles tightly. But all is not lost because you can always reach for the far leg and do a double from there. Especially for somebody as big as Neil, this is not even a what if. You can even use that as a primary, as I was telling him. So that is direct, straight up attack. What's common also is when in Nogi, especially if somebody does a De La Riva, people go to HQ to counter it and go for a knee slice on the other part. That usually forces you to play reverse De La Riva, and that it can take that opportunity to use that leverage, do your reverse De La Riva stuff, enter your saddle, whatever it might be. But again, the whole point of this is really make that knowing what the expected reaction is. So if they don't do a backstep and they immediately go to HQ and try to go on the other side, you switching to De La Riva actually allows you. Going to reverse De La Riva actually gives you a lot of leverage to go back to a De La Riva sweep. So again, like this, I'm in De La Riva, you go to HQ, you smash me, I switch to reverse De La Riva, and as soon as I switch back to De La Riva, you can do the sweep using that expected momentum. So lastly, I'm talking about setting up to koala guard. Again, this is something I do often simply because I don't like to do a lot of explosive moves, so I do a lot of like stalling and tight gripping stuff. And the only thing I'm telling Neil here is that he's big enough that if he keeps his ear to the inner thigh, you can pretty much nullify a lot of guillotine attempts. And because of his body mass, if he hugs that leg, he pretty much has control to over 50% of the body, and he can just tilt in any direction he chooses, and he can usually take the person down pretty easily as a wrestle up. So don't forget that if the person drives forward a lot, you can just simply do an overhead sweep. So I hope you guys like this. This is again, I like to explore how to make moves more efficient because I don't think I'll ever invent new moves. And we all have different body types. We all have different game styles, and exploring these kind of solutions is something I really enjoy doing. If you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this. And again, I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.